I'm a dream catcher. That's what I label myself to be, because I've been there, I've done that, I made choices in life. And one of the best choice I made was to actually enter the world of business. You know, um, I launched this book, Dean. I launched this book, Entrepreneur in 12 Days. Ang bata ko pa dyan, payat pa ako dyan. Okay, a few years back, I think 4 years ago. And now I launched it even in Dubai, this book. Yeah, I launched it in the International Book Fair in the UAE. What year was this? I forgot. Never mind. Now, the outcome of my conversation with you today is I want to contextualize entrepreneurship in the nursing profession. I want to put it in the nursing profession. I want to align the nursing qualities that are essential to entrepreneurial traits. The question is, will the nurses be good entrepreneurs? I would say yes. I would say yes. You know, when I became awarded by the University of Santo Tomas, you know, I would die without getting an award from UST as a nurse, as a nursing student that I was, as a nursing alumni. Okay, but I was given by UST the total awards, the 10 outstanding alumni awards in entrepreneurship. No, and at that point, I was interviewed, and they asked me, Carl, Dr. Carl, what is the thing that you learned from the university that made you who you are today? And my answer was two. I said, I learned leadership and I learned caring. And these are the two secrets that I have in becoming the person that I am. They say successful entrepreneur. I say still a work in progress, because success is a road that is always under construction. You know, when I answered that, I knew very well that, you know, I did not like nursing to begin with. Dean, I did not like nursing. You know, I was just forced into it. Yeah, and all I learned in the university was, the best lesson I learned in the university was leadership. You know why? Because I was the president of my class from first year to fourth year. And I was president of my student council when I graduated in our final year. And I'm now president of the Nursing Alumni Association of the UST. The thing there is, I'm trying to tell you now that, do you have what it takes to be an entrepreneur? And my answer is a big yes. You know why? Because you learned caring. And you know, I am a caring boss. I am a caring person. You know, I'm a slave driver. I know. I drive people to work. I really drive people to the best performance that they can achieve. But more than that, I am I'm caring for them. You know, in these pandemic times, my only dream, my only goal is to make sure that I'm able to sustain all of them. And I'm sustaining all of them. And that is my simple goal. It's not about making profit. It's not about building a new house or buying a new property. It's all about sustaining my people. You know, where did I learn that? I learned caring. You know what? Let me tell you, if you are caring enough, then you can build a team. And if you have the leadership enough, you can lead the team to achieve your goals, even in entrepreneurship or in other field. Okay, I also want to rationalize courses of decision and action towards nursing entrepreneurship. I want to explain with you why choosing to be in business can give you more opportunities. Okay, and of course, to leverage on entrepreneurship towards enrich nursing practice. If you think entrepreneurship is about building a review center, no, this is not my only. Okay, I learned the best elements of entrepreneurship in nursing, believe it or not. Okay, now I'd like to present to you what you call the onion model in entrepreneurship. By the way, those professors teaching entrepreneurship might want to ask this onion model. It all begins with you. What kind of entrepreneur are you? And the entrepreneur is a person. Okay, what are your qualities? Ito lang sasabihin ko sa, I cannot speak Filipino, no? Dr. Virgo, we have foreign students, right? Give me a thumbs up if you have foreign students. Yeah, we have foreign students. That's why I'm talking English. And you know, I came from a conference where we have been talking English for the past 2 days. And you know what? The thing is, you cannot pour from an empty cup. The thing is, you cannot, not everyone can be an entrepreneur. Number one, if you are greedy for money, don't be an entrepreneur, because you will like play tennis with your eyes on the scoreboard. If the purpose why you want to be an entrepreneur is to make money, I would suggest don't be an entrepreneur. Marry someone rich. That's faster. Go learn the money high story. That's faster. Or maybe there are many ways to earn money. And if making money is what you want out of entrepreneurship, I'll tell you, you will quit before you even become successful in it. I repeat that. I don't want you to take up to be an entrepreneur to make money, because it might just be a very disappointing experience, because you will give up before you earn that money, which is your goal to be an entrepreneur. The second element is enterprise. Enterprise is what you build to support the product or service that you need. I'll talk about that later. And then you build the network, personal and professional network, and then you build the business environment. That's the entire ecosystem that you build around the business. Like, for example, I'm the entrepreneur. I built CBRC. Now I have a personal and professional network. Every dean would know me. Every chief nurse will probably know me, because I built that network already. And then I build the business environment. This is where my faculty and so on. Okay. Now, let me put it this way. I need to engage you in a question that asks this question. Will see your answer to this question. Will the square peg fit in the round hole? What is your answer, please? I want to see your chat. Come on, those who will not answer will not pass the board exam. Come on. Answer my question. All right. Will the square peg fit in the round hole? Okay, some will say yes, some will say no. Okay, some says, yeah, a lot would say yes. In fact, the answer is not a yes or a no. The answer is it depends upon what it is made of. You know why? Because if this is made of stone, it's not going to fit. Yeah, it's a square peg. It's a cube, yes. Yeah, so it's not going to fit if it is made of stone or wood. But if this is made of foam or any pliable materials, I'm sure you'll agree that it's going to fit. Now, the question really is, are you entrepreneurial? Will you be a good entrepreneur? The answer is not a yes or a no. The answer is it depends upon what you are made of. Most likely, if your parents are entrepreneurs, you would know how to handle it. But if your parents are employees, like my dad, my parents, no, they'll probably disagree if you go entrepreneurship. Okay, so will the square peg fit in the round hole? The answer is not a yes or a no. The answer is it depends upon what you're made of. Now, if the question is, will you be a good entrepreneur? The answer is not a yes or a no. The answer is it depends upon what you're made of. But let me tell you what entrepreneurship is. Let's put a little more context into this. A French economist once said that an entrepreneur is a person who shifts economic resources from lower to an area of higher productivity and yield. And let me tell you, in history, entrepreneurs were born during the time of crisis. Okay, and the crisis we have now have given birth to a lot of entrepreneurs. And let me tell you, it's very easy to be in business now. You don't even have to produce. You just have to have a product. You just have to have a social media account, and you can actually be engaged in it and pamine this. Okay, if you know how to make pulburon, cook it and post it. And believe it or not, I have interviewed a person who's just making pulburon, and she's earning 100,000 pesos a month. It's possible. In other words, entrepreneur comes from two words, intraprendra, which is entre is between, prendra is to take. It's to take between. In the past, entrepreneurs are just middlemen. Somebody's able to produce but cannot sell. An entrepreneur will sell it to someone who needs it. And then we were born. Entrepreneurs were born. Now, these are some of the definitions of entrepreneurs. I don't want you to be burdened by so much words. Let me just trim it down. It goes like this. And let me just put a little more emphasis on it. These are the entrepreneurs. Okay, this is what they do. This is what we do. And the ones in red would guide you through the understanding. They create new business without regard to resources. Remember this. If you will wait for the time that you have all that you need to be in business, I'll tell you, you're already dying and you have not started your business. Because a real entrepreneur will start something without regard to the resources. They're good at identifying opportunities. They will turn ideas into practice, into action. They'll put new value into something. They will assume risk. If you're afraid to take risks, don't be an entrepreneur. They are creative and they are innovative and they search for change. They want something different. They want something new. They want to exploit opportunities. Okay. Now, like for example, in the business of review that we do, many review centers will just review to make people pass. In my case, no, I review people so that they don't only pass, but I review because I want them to be proficient, because I know the gap now. I know the gap now of the graduates of nursing. They may not have the skills because of the the difficulty in learning virtually. And let's face it, it's different when you can actually go to the hospital and perform the skill with your clinical instructor behind you teaching you how to do it. Practice still makes perfect. Okay, the thing is, it's not something happening now. You know what I did with my review? All my reviewees, even those who have graduated long time ago, will have to go back to the skills laboratory, because we make sure that they have. And I created the digital RLE. Okay, I can. In fact, next week, Dean, I'd like to invite all your fourth years for free. We will have a tour at St. Luke's, by the way. We will tour the entire St. Luke's Hospital so that the nursing students who may not be able to see hospitals would see St. Luke's from that point of view. The thing is, I am creative enough to bring about change, to differentiate, and that's the value of it. And now, believe it or not, I created, because I'm the president of the AAHON, that's the Alliance of Health Organizations of the Nation. In fact, they're pushing me to run for Senate. I'm not making a decision. I don't want to go enter politics. And the thing is, you know what? My students now are still reviewing, but they already signed contracts with hospitals. And some hospitals are even willing to pay the tuition fee of the review. Why am I talking to you about this? It takes an entrepreneur to see that opportunity. It's my opportunity that I know all these owners of hospitals and so on. And what I do now is to bridge the need. They need nurses. I have nurses. Come on, pay for the tuition fee of my nurses and I'll give them to you if they want it. And it happens that way. It's all about what we do as entrepreneur. Look at this. It's what we do. We don't like talks. We don't like ideas. We like action. We want risks. That's what we do. Okay, now look at this. This is a nice framework. This is from the ICN. Yeah, for the faculty here who would require our students to write about, to make a reaction paper about this. According to the ICN, I adapted this to become this paradigm. An entrepreneur is an individual who assumes total responsibility and risk. Okay, what will they do? Discover and create what? Unique opportunity. All right, so that you can use talent, skills, and energy, so that the opportunity will become marketable service and product. I repeat that. This is a sentence. This is even like 3 sentences in the definition, but I don't love long readings. I just say, who is the entrepreneur according to the ICN definition, International Council of Nurses? Okay, it's the individual assumes total responsibility. Like, I am responsible for my review center. I am responsible for it. What do we do? I discover and I create unique opportunity. And what do? I use my talent, I use my skill, I use my energy, so that the opportunity will go follow the strategic process, so that I will have a marketable product or service. As simple as that. In Filipino, I cannot speak Filipino. I don't want to discriminate the foreigners who are listening, but the thing is simple. You just have to find that opportunity and pursue it using a process where you will pour your talent, your skills, and your energy, so that you're able to translate that opportunity to what is marketable. Okay, you know what? It happened that there are many LGUs now who are looking for nurses for their vaccination center. And I happen to be Chairman Emeritus of the Philippine Chamber of Commerce in Quezon City. You know what I did? I asked Quezon City, do you need nurses? They said yes. Okay, I have nurses. And they said, okay, so you have nurses. They can be, and I have doctors, because I have review also for doctors. And they say, okay, we need them. I said, they are not, can they volunteer? I said, yes, they can volunteer if you pay them. Why do I need to make them pay? Because I don't like nurses volunteering for risk and so on. And we won't believe it. I am paying the nurses, I think, 1,500 a day just to immunize. And I'm paying doctors as much as 3,000 pesos a day for them to do the screening. And what did I do? There was this opportunity. Then I provided for marketable service and product. And you wouldn't believe it that my team, the CBRC team, is now responsible for the vaccination of about 800 million. I repeat that, 800,000 vaccinees in Quezon City were given by CBRC doctors and nurses and those who are reviewing with me as allied health. What is that? They become marketable service and product. They're earning higher money than what they would have earned in the hospital. But I saw that as an opportunity because I am an entrepreneur. Okay, put it this way, simple. You will combine, the dean mentioned this, you combine the principle of entrepreneurship and the principles of nursing. Then what do? Legal context, economic context, market driven, and public sector driven. In other words, the nursing entrepreneurship refers to the provision of what the market needs so that economically you benefit from it. That's it. I saw in a Sunday market before the quarantine, I go to Sunday market and I saw someone, where someone was taking the BP and the blood sugar of people in that Sunday market. And then I approached the lady. I asked, "Hi, how much would it be for me to have my BP check?" She said, 50 pesos, sir. Oh, what about my blood sugar? Sir, 120. I said, that's expensive. Sir, I have a discount if you will take your BP every month, every day, every weekend, every Sunday. And then, I ask, are you a nurse? No, sir. Midwife? No, sir. So what are you? Nothing. I just know how to take the BP and know how to take blood sugar because my mother is diabetic. Wow. And I would ask, how many people would you get? How many people would go to you and get their BP checked? Sir, I'm probably maintaining around 30 people, 30 to 50 people every Sunday. Compute that. Say 30 times 50 pesos to take the BP. And by the way, the Sunday market is for the rich. It's not for the poor people who don't have 20 pesos, And the blood sugar, compute that. You know what? She is earning around 10,000 pesos a day for her services. I'm not saying do it that way. No. I'm not saying you do it that way. But I'll tell you, there are many people now who are engaged in health. And I'll talk about that later. Okay, meron ako. I have a presentation to make. I'm just saying that you combine the principle of entrepreneurship and nursing, and you are a nurse entrepreneur. A nurse entrepreneur is an owner of a business that would offer nursing service. And, American Nurses Association, direct care. Yeah, direct care, even wound cleaning, and so on. And do you know what? Let me announce this. You know how much it is for a nurse? I mean, how much is it for a family to have a private duty nurse to a COVID patient per day? Make a guess. Make a guess. Come on. I need your chat. I want to interact with you. I don't want to be talking to my screen. Come on, tell me. How much do you think per day is a nurse? By the way, per day, because they live with the patient. You don't have shiftings for that. How much per day are private duty nurses asking for a private duty nurse for COVID patient? 2,000, 5,000, 3,000. All right. Okay. 1,000. It's 10,000. You're correct. Yeah, a nurse now is paid 10,000. Mac, you're correct. 10,000 pesos. The thing there is, you even have to test them, you feed them, you give them PPE. And after the care is done, you have to pay for their test, and they will go quarantine, and you'll provide for their room for their quarantine, a place for their quarantine. Think about it. That's how precious we are already. Okay? Now, direct care, educational. Okay, that's what we do in CBRC, in schools, research. I remember there was a university, a college in the north. Dean, at the time that nursing students are very hard to find, there were a group of faculty in one college there in the north. I just don't want to mention. And they invited me for dinner because I always go Baguio and La Union. They asked me, Sir Carl, can we have a lunch with you? I said, sure, I'll be available for dinner. And there were three, and they asked me, Sir Carl, what can we do? We're losing our job next month. So what can we do? What business can we engage in? I said, not review center, right? Because I'll kill you. I mean, you'll be dead. The thing is, they said, sir, that's why we're asking because we don't know. Then I started asking them, what are you teaching? The one said, one faculty said, I'm teaching CHN, sir. The other one, what about you? I'm teaching research, sir. What about you? MCN, sir. You know what I said? Why don't you make a proposal to your mayor that you will do a research on maternal child nursing and public health issues and package it so that you will have your job for the next 6 months researching about it. Yeah. And you know what? They disobeyed me. They disobeyed me. They disobeyed my idea to go to the mayor. You know why they disobeyed me? They went to the governor. And you know what? They got a contract with the province, and they are doing the research for a year. And they put their salaries as the team that would do the research for the entire province. And they are nursing entrepreneurs in the field of research, administrative consultation, and so on. Okay, it will evolve, ladies and gentlemen, especially at the time when health becomes a basic thing, really, and the society appreciates the value of health. Now, let me tell you something. Let me ask you, if I give you 101 ideas today, okay, because I'm about to give you 101 ideas of business in nursing, you know what? I am sure that you can match yourself with one of them. Okay, tell me, how do you feel if my screen will show you the 101 business ideas? What will you do? What do you feel right now? Come on, put it in the chat. I want to read your chat. Come on, everybody. What will you do if I give you 101 business idea? I'll be overwhelmed. I'll start a business, adapt them, motivate. You feel motivated, okay? Inspired, okay? Will you choose one? Will you find one? I'll review them. Somebody says, thank you. Okay, I'll pick one. Good. I love the answer of Joanne. I'll pick one. Excited to try some in the future. Okay, study them. Good. Now listen, look at this. Look at this. I will present to you 101 business ideas. And the 101 business ideas in nursing will come from the definition of the scope of nursing practice, Republic Act 9173, Section 28, that tells us what? A person shall be deemed to be practicing nursing when she or he is singly, alone, or in collaboration with another, initiates perform nursing service to whom? Individual, families, and communities in any healthcare setting. Let me tell you something. Do you have an idea on how much it is to give birth in a birthing home in the Cordilleras? Anybody who has an idea? How much does it cost to give birth in a birthing home? Yeah. Jelani said 40,000, 25,000, 50,000. I'm talking about birthing homes. Yes. Let me ask you, who owns these birthing homes? Are they owned by obstetricians? Come on, tell me. Who owns the birthing homes? Come on, type it on. O yung iba, government? Government owns it? The answer is midwives. Yes. Sometimes these are owned by ordinary people and hire doctors and midwives. I know a lot of midwives in this practice. I'm just giving you an example. I'm just giving you an example of this because, nursing entrepreneurship should be based on this. Because from conception to labor to delivery to infancy, childhood, toddler, preschool, school age, adolescence, adulthood, and old age, do you know that you are in a place where many elderly who would like to retire may want to go? Do you know that if you are in the mountain province, for example, maybe your old house can be a retirement village or a wellness village? I'm just saying maybe. Okay, maybe the Japanese or even the Americans or the Europeans if they go to the Philippines to retire, I'm sure they wouldn't choose Manila. They wouldn't choose Cebu. They'll probably choose a cool place, a cool place where whenever it's peaceful and the view is nice and I can die with nature. And you know where that is. See, I'm opening opportunities for you. And I'm not saying do it alone. I'm just saying you might want to find someone else to help you through it. I mean, if teachers can put up preschools, why can't nurses put up a preschool? You see, birthing home. If midwives can set up birthing homes and can earn, I know of a birthing home owner in Manila. She's driving an expedition. She drives a more expensive car than I do. Okay. And she's a midwife. She studied for 2 years. All right. Okay. What do? I put it here. I put it in the context because a nurse alone or in collaboration with another would initiate to perform nursing service to individuals, families in any healthcare setting and communities. And that is all throughout across the lifespan. They say from conception to old age, I call it from erection to resurrection. That's what I say. In other words, even death is something for the nurses. Maybe you can be a death organizer. I mean, you put up something like you're a consultant of death. You see, you call yourself, I organize your death towards your peaceful death. I'm just kidding, but why not? People in crisis would need someone to run to them. In fact, there are death, in some funeral there are services related to that. Well, it's just a joke, but I'm just giving you the entire spectrum of humanity where you can actually see nurses performing. Okay, now let me put it this way. Scope of nursing practice, you can be an independent practitioner. Somebody went to me, by the way, somebody in PNA Dean. I attended one PNA conference and one lady approached me and said, Dr. Carl, I'm your big fan for your television show and I want to ask you something. I said, why? What do you want to ask? I want to set up a business. I want to start a business. And I said, okay, why not? I don't have a business idea. I said, I always ask this, what are you good at? What do you love to do best that you enjoy most? If you will ask me now, all of you, if you ask me now, what is the best business for you? I will answer your question with another question and I'll ask you, what is it that you do best that you enjoy most? And when I asked her that question, what is it that you do best that you enjoy most? You know what she said? Cooking, sir. That's my problem. I love cooking. I'm good at cooking, but I don't want to go out of nursing. I want something that's for nursing. I want to be a nursing entrepreneur, but I love to cook. What I said, where do you live? I live in Tagaytay. I said, is there a restaurant in Tagaytay that's already selling food with that computes the caloric intake? And she said, and she brightened her eyes and said, oh my God, there's none yet, sir. Then I said, why don't you put up a business that offers nutritional food or healthy food? And you give more credibility because you are a nurse. And you have a computation of the caloric intake. And maybe you can have a diabetic diet. Maybe you can have an arthritic diet or, a bulking diet and so on. And you know what? I gave her my number to her. And then after a few months, she called me and she said, sir, I'm opening up my restaurant already. Wow. You know what she called her restaurant? She called her restaurant Nurse's Order. Yeah, Nurse's Order. And it was funny because her restaurant serves really healthy meals. I have not monitored her after that because, quarantine, the restaurants got affected by that. If you continue to read through the scope of nursing practice, it's from promotion to prevention of illness. You have that. It's even curative, preventive, and rehabilitative, restoration, alleviation of suffering, or if recovery is not possible, towards peaceful death. This even is enumerated. Now, there's nothing that prohibits the nurse in entering any one of these. Food supplements, for example. Halamang gamot. Do you know the herbal medicines? How many people are, are selling turmeric teas and other concoction of the herbal medicine, and they are people who probably did not understand herbal medicine, but nurses do. You know that. Look at this traditional innovative approaches. This is my point. This is my point. You're a nurse. Who owns spa? Yeah, in Baguio, I miss North Haven. Oh my God, I just remember North Haven in Baguio. That's the best massage I could get, really, anywhere in the Philippines. Every time I go to Baguio, I get booked there before go as I arrive and as I leave. I love massage. But what if you own a spa and you communicate that you are a nurse? Yeah, makes sense. It makes more sense. Why? Because we are advocates of wellness. Even therapeutic use of self. Nurses can be trained counselor, you know, executing health techniques and procedures. I'll tell you, there are some wound clinics already for diabetics, comfort measures, health teaching, etc. And of course, last part is delivery. Therefore, if you will just go back to the nature of the scope of nursing practice, you will be surprised that you can find 101 business ideas for nurses. Even research, even human resource, even training, you can do that. Okay. And you are in a place where communities are so closely knit, and that, Baguio, I love Baguio. If I will made to choose, if I leave Manila and my province, Oriental Mindoro, and go to a place, probably Baguio will be one of my top two lists, with Palawan, of course. No, there. And there I'm showing you the framework of what nurses can actually do and what are the business ideas if you want to stay within nursing. And it is in this framework. If you're taking pictures of my framework, it's fine. But if you use it, you better give me proper credits. Okay, that's all right. Okay, now again, the question is, will the square peg fit in the round hole? The answer is, it depends upon what you are made of. What are you made of? Will nurses make good entrepreneurs? The answer is not a yes or a no. It depends upon what you're made of. Now, if you don't want to call me successful in business, what do you call me? Yeah, what do you call me? I live a comfortable life. I mean, I have influenced people. I filled up the Philippine arena twice. Many nurses came through me. You ask chief nurses now, head nurses now, they probably reviewed with me, or if not, used my book, probably. I mean, what am I made of? It's something out of the choice of taking risks, the one I showed you earlier. And this is what off. Look at this. You know what I did? I got Gene Watson, the 10 curative factors. I got Timon's, and I got that qualities of American Nurses Association, qualities of nurse entrepreneur. You know what I realized? You can actually draw the line. The 10 curative factors of nurses, the entrepreneurial traits, and the personal qualities and profile of nurse entrepreneur, they align. As to the qualities of nurses to succeed in entrepreneurship, let me tell you, take it from me, I know this. I have interviewed brands. The first interview of Mang Inasal was in my show. The first interview of Figaro was in my show. Okay, many big businessmen had their first launch in my show. And I talk to someone and ask them some questions, then I realize that they will be successful in the future. Why? Because they have the qualities of successful entrepreneur. They want to learn about entrepreneurship. You have to learn about the entrepreneur, about the enterprise, and about the environment. Okay? You have to learn for opportunity recognition so that you will know how to recognize opportunity. You have to learn for opportunity preparation. You don't just recognize, but you prepare for the opportunity. And lastly, opportunity optimization, when you make the most of the opportunity. And you can learn this through a startup. You have to start somewhere. Start small. Then you lead the business so that the business will grow, and then you upgrade. When you say upgrade, that you level up your business. Like, for example, did you know that before the pandemic, CBRC was offering 5 courses: nursing, criminology, teacher, midwifery, and what else? Criminology. But you know what? After the pandemic, now as we speak, we are offering 38 programs. Imagine, I grew when the pandemic came, and we opened our Canada branch when the pandemic came. Think about it. Why? Because I know entrepreneurship. The Timon's model of entrepreneurship is just opportunity, resources, and team. Very simple. I don't want to deal with this. But what is it that you love? This is to close this conversation. What is it that you love? Maybe that is where you can find the idea. What are you good at? Think about it. What is it that the world needs? And what are you paid for? You know, the problem tonight, answer all these questions. What do you love? Don't answer me with your romantic identification of who you love. Okay? All right. It's what you love to do. Where are you good at? What is it that the world needs? And what are you paid to do? If this intersects, if it comes together, what you're good at and what you're paid for is your profession. What the world needs and what you're paid for is your vocation. What you love and what you're good at is your passion. And what you love and what the world needs becomes your mission. And then there is what you find as your purpose. Why is this important to me? This is important to me because if you want to go into business, it's something you should love. It's something you're good at. It's something that the world needs and something that you would be paid for. It's really gonna be worth it. Okay? Because if you go into a business that you love, good at, and paid for, but the world does not need, you will feel useless. If you go to a something you're good at, something you love, and something the world needs, but you are not paid for, oops, you will have a problem because you will feel delight, but you will be poor. You don't want to be poor. What do you call this part which is you're good at, you're paid for, and the world needs, but it's not something you love? You're like a prostitute. You will be comfortable, but you feel empty. Okay, and what happens then if you what you do is something you love, something the world needs, something you're paid for, but something you're not good at? Then you feel insecure. You'll be excited, but you'll be uncertain. Now, what is my message to you? The decision to be an entrepreneur is not because there is an opportunity, but because you have a mission, you have a vision, you have a profession, you're passionate about it, and you consider it as a vocation. This is what I do in CBRC. CBRC, I saw this as my mission. I'm very passionate about it. Okay. And you know what? I have made a lot of people millionaires already. Somehow they felt they earned their first million through me or with me. Okay. And I have done that. I have bridged the dreams of many people. UC's first top notcher was my product. Miss Vanessa Gasat is your first top notcher, number 5, and she worked with me since then up to now. And she's one of the best, one of the best really you can find. Why? Because she lived in an environment where we are creative, we are innovative, and we care for each other. Okay? Now, if everybody's seated, don't just sit down. You may want to stand up. If everybody stood up, don't just stand up. Maybe you want to stand out. If everybody's a standout, maybe you want to be the standard. And if everyone is a standard, maybe you want to be outstanding. And always remember this. You have to color outside the lines if you want to make your life a masterpiece. My life has become my masterpiece. You know why? Because I have a legacy. You want to be immortal? I'll give you 3 tips to be immortal. Number 1, write a book. I have written several books. I'm already immortal. Why? Because you die, your books remain there. Even Ma'am Fem Octaviano, Dean Judith, Ma'am Fem Octaviano is my co-author. My co-author for this book. I don't know if you use this book. Okay,
Yes,
and
we
she's
use that,
immortal.
Dr. Carl. We use
Yeah.
that here in the university, together with
Yeah.
your research also, and the
Yeah.
TFL.
Dr. Octaviano died like a month
Yeah, so
ago,
sad to know that. Yes.
but she is immortal. And now I'm giving all the royalty that she earns from this in a foundation that she wants, the family wants. You see, she's immortal because of the book. Number 2, you want to be immortal, have a family. I die tonight, I have 4 kids to live after me. I'm immortal. Number 3, start a business. I die, CBRC continues, and that's it. All right? So plant a tree. Don't forget that. If you plant a tree, you become immortal. So you have to color outside the lines if you want to make your life a masterpiece. And one of the things you want to do is to live in prosperity. And I define prosperity as what others become because of you. And I would say I live a prosperous life. Why? Because I am what I am, not only because of what I am, but because of what others have become because of me. And that's the power of entrepreneurship, not only to build wealth, but to build legacy. Thank you so much. Maraming salamat po.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Balita, for that very informative and inspiring presentation. Truly, if you work as an entrepreneur, you are not after the money, but you are working for your own dream, and your dream is working on fulfilling others' dream. I hope our participants were able to jot down the important information and techniques because that would really help them in the future careers. So, partner, do you have what it takes to become an entrepreneur?
To answer that question, partner, it depends on what I am made of.
That's a very good answer, partner. I think you really listened to Dr. Balita. That's good.
And how about our participants? Do you have what it takes to become an entrepreneur? Please hit the chat box for your answers.
Okay. Okay, so thank you everyone for your responses. Maybe after listening to our speaker, you can reflect on the journey you want to pursue. And because you might not know, you might take the road less traveled by. Okay.
I agree. I myself found the presentation very helpful. Now I am able to be knowledgeable on how to create my own business in the future. So the goal and passion must always blend.
Indeed, partner. Now, some of us may have some questions on their minds about the topics that were discussed, and therefore we will be starting our open forum. And for now, for any other questions or clarifications, you can utilize the chat box, then we will be reading it for you, and our speaker, Dr. Balita, will answer it. Okay, I repeat, for any questions or clarifications, you can utilize the chat box, and then we will be reading it for you, and our speaker, Dr. Balita, will answer it.
So while waiting for those questions, reminding again everyone to take a screenshot of yourselves while attending this webinar. This will be a proof of your attendance that will be stated for your evaluation later on. So
I think there's a question in the chat.
Yes, Doc. What makes you?
I will encourage the faculty to give additional grade to those who ask the best questions. You know why? Because the intelligence of a person is not measured by how well he can speak, but on how well he can ask questions. Yeah.
Okay, so for the first question we have here in the chat box, what makes your role as a nurse entrepreneur so rewarding?
It's being in control of your life. It's being, the captain of your ship and the master of your fate. It's very rewarding. It's the opportunity that's not limited to the 15th and the 30th. It's the reward of the hard work that you may want to give more because you want to achieve more. Like the dean congratulated me for my 4th Asia CEO. This award, this is very prestigious because this is the Asia CEO Awards. It's right here with me. It's very rewarding because I'm competing with not ordinary people. It's PLDT given. I would say that it's rewarding because I become challenged to that creativity that would give me reward, not only in material form, but in proving to the world that I can do it. Yeah. I will not look at the chat so that I will not answer in advance. You just ask me. I'd love to answer questions. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yes, yes, Doc Balita. So we have here another question. So what are the hindrances that you encounter in building your business and you overcome it?
You know, there's one thing I've learned about interviewing successful people. If you ask them about hindrances and failures, they have difficulty answering. Because you know why? Because there is none. You know, because the hindrances, I don't see them as hindrances. I see them as opportunity to evolve and to transform. Just like this pandemic is a challenge of survival. But in our case, we even grew because of it. So hindrances and failures are just stepping stones to something great. But you know what? What I realize is that successful people hardly can answer that because they make no mistakes, just lessons. To me, there are no mistakes, just lessons. There are no hindrances because they are just stepping stones. You know, but you ask me about vision, come on, I know very clear. That's what successful people want to answer. Ayaw namin ng drama ng buhay namin kasi hindi namin gustong tambayan ang buhay namin na hindi maganda. What I said in English is that we don't want to be what's tambay. We don't want to stay in those negative moments of our lives and we forget about them. You know why? Because we just want to go forward and move forward because that's what we enjoy more. Yeah.
Thank you, Doc Balita. And
You know
for
why?
the
Let me clarify that. Because you know, when you keep in your mind hindrances and failures, it will make you weak. What I keep in my mind is my target, my goal, my future, my vision, my strength. Yeah, that's what I want to celebrate. That's how successful people think. Tell me I'm weak, fine. I'll just hear it, then I'll prove you wrong. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Doc Balita, for that. And moving on to our next question, knowing what you know now, is there anything you would have done differently when you were first starting out?
Don't ask me about going back in time, but ask me about moving forward in the future. What would I do differently? I do differently every day. Okay, I take care of today, the tomorrow will take care of itself. I live a life of no regrets. If there is something that I would have done differently, then I'll feel less about the opportunity I have for the present and the opportunities in the future. Why will I go back to a situation when that I cannot change anymore? You know, I have this favorite prayer, Lord, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Let me tell you something. I have peace of mind looking back in the past that I cannot change, but I will have the courage to change the things that I can, and I know the difference. I know the difference. Don't dwell in your regrets. Don't even look back. Run and move forward. If you fall, rise up and move forward. Don't tambay. What's the word for tambay? Maybe I should translate because yung tambay is very Filipino, no? You know, don't you know, tambay to the foreigners. Tambay is what people do by the corner that they have nothing achieved there because they just wanna be there. I don't like it there. Tambay people, the unproductive people who just sit there and relax and they're making tambay. So yeah, staying in the same place. Yeah. But the Filipinos would know what tambay is. Wag niyong tambayan ang problema niyo, wag niyong tambayan ang kahinaan niyo, do something. We're lifelong learners, we can do that. Loiterer, yeah, Vanessa. Yeah, tambay, you loiter, you just loiter around nonsensely. Okay? Yeah, go ahead. I love your questions. Very intelligent questions. You know, CUC people are intelligent, huh? Of course, Vanessa is, and Virgo is. Why would I not? Why would I doubt? Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Balita. We have here another question. So what have been your most significant failures and what did you learn from them?
I don't consider anything as a failure. There's none. Because they're all lessons. Yeah. Look at this. Did I graduate cum laude? Of course not. Yeah. Why? Because I did not like what I was learning. I did not focus on it. But why will I consider that as a failure? Hello, I was the only president of our student council at my time. And I learned leadership. I did not learn the classroom. It's easy to be a cum laude. Hello. It's one of the easiest thing you can do, you can achieve. Because in UST, maybe half of the class are cum laudes. Why will I choose to be like others? I want to be different. I became the president. Now, if it's a failure on my part, come on. No way. Okay, did I top the board? Of course not. But let me ask you, who is the number one author now of reviewers in nursing? Who is now the employer of the top notchers? That's a point. Are they failures? No way. It's perspective. The glass that is half full is also half empty. How do you want to see it? I don't see the glass as half full or half empty. You know what I see the glass? I see the glass as refillable. Simply put. Yeah. Maybe Dr. Virgo can or Miss Vanessa can put in the chat the article that I wrote for Business Mirror just today, so that you don't become unproductive in social media. I wrote that article and a lot of young people loved it. Pinapabobo kayo ng social media. The social media is making you stupid. Okay, you better manage it well. Miss Vanessa, if you can share it in the chat, the link. Okay, come on, more questions, please. I love your questions. You're very intelligent in asking questions.
Okay, sir. How to know if your business is successful?
When you are able to help other people and you don't live for the profit alone. In fact, let me add up to something. How do you know you're rich if you don't know how much money you have and if you don't work for the money anymore? Okay, success of business is when you're able to help others. And that's what I did. Okay, if my staff have cars to drive, have comfortable lives, it's because I share my business. Because I'll be a big failure if I become successful and they don't. Dr. Virgo, for example, is a PhD now. I gave him to Pan Pacific University as the Dean of Education, because if I did not approve of it, maybe the president would not invite him. In fact, I offered him to be the Dean of the College of Education because I want them to be successful, because their success is my success as well. Pero sa love life, wala akong magawa, ha. Doon lang ako walang magagawa. I have to be honest with that. That's something I cannot provide anymore. So, but in terms of growth, career growth, etc., and opportunities, oh my God, and training on how to do things well, they have lots of it. Yeah. Go ahead. You don't have a mic.
Again, thank you,
Yeah.
Dr. Balita.
Okay.
Another question here. How do you handle the negativity and also those people who doesn't believe in your capabilities?
Who are they anyway? Why will I listen to people I don't care about? People who care don't matter, and people who matter don't care. You know what I mean? Yeah. Why will I listen to people who would just give me negative? The ship floats in the ocean, and there's water all over around the ship, right? But what sinks the ship is not the water around it; it's the water that enters it. Why will I allow the negativity to enter? I can actually float with it, just like the ship floating on water. Don't let it in. There was a time I had a fight with my daughter because my daughter is very expressive, and she went to me, and that dinner she was very happy. She has a boyfriend. Feels so loved. She's pretty. She's beautiful. She's my co-host in a Kumu show every Thursday and Saturday. She is a Dean's Lister in nursing. She's a second year student of nursing in UST. So, and one evening, she went to us crying because she heard of a friend saying this and saying that. I told her right in front of her, I say, you know what? You're stupid. And she cried and she said, can't you not empathize with me? Are you not giving me a hug? And so, come on, I'm not tolerating the stupidity of people allowing the negative to come into them to sink them. If you get affected, these people will be very happy that you're affected. And who are they anyway? Do they matter? They don't matter. Come on, if everybody would just think of what people say, then you won't even get out of your house and you will say that your kilay is not pantay. Look at Syra's kilay is so nice. I mean, your lipstick is not appropriate to your skin tone and so on. Come on, you will be so afraid. Just go ahead. Okay? That's my philosophy. People who matter don't care. And people who care don't matter. Yeah.
Thank you, Doc Balita. And for the next question, what makes you different from the other entrepreneurs?
Because I am me and no one is the same as I am. And that's all it takes. I don't have to be different because I am already different. You see, it's my choice if I imitate others. Just like the other review centers, they just imitate what I do. And that's why they feel less. Because you know what? If the thing is, what makes me different? It's being me. And that's my message to all. You just have to be you. You don't have to be better than the others. You don't have to be a better version of yourself. The hell? You just have to be you. Whether you're a better version or the same version of yourself, you're still your own self. Because if by becoming a better version of yourself, you destroy yourself, come on, you're wasting your time. Just be who you are because no one is better than you in becoming you. So just be you. The problem is sometimes we lack that self-awareness. You want to be someone else. And by wishing to be someone else, you become less of who you are and more of what they prescribe or more of what you think that you should be. Just be who you are. Reveal it. The world loves you for being who you are. You're the only one in the universe who is you. Go ahead.
Okay, so again, Dr. Balita, thank you. And we have here another question. Have you had businesses that failed, and what did you do about those businesses?
Of course, I closed. It failed. Success is the road always under construction. The most successful people, to tell you, there was a study that the most successful businessmen had 2.7 failures before they become successful. I had more. Yeah, I was stupid that last year I ventured into a resort in Puerto Galera. At the peak of the quarantine, I invested in a resort. And it was a failure because in White Beach, Puerto Galera, they closed it. I mean, the people couldn't go. What do I have to do? Instead of bleeding, I closed it. And I said, I'll open it when things go well. You know what? I tell you, don't be afraid to fail. If you're afraid to fail, don't be an entrepreneur. Okay, you die because the dead don't fail anymore. All right?
Yes, Doc. I certainly agree with that. And for the
Mm.
next question, do you think that luck plays a huge factor on the life of an entrepreneur, or structure and planning plays that role?
Of course. Of course. There is such a thing as luck. And luck has a formula. Write it down. Luck has a formula. It's a mathematics. Luck equals opportunity times preparedness. Luck equals opportunity times preparedness. I put times because if one is absent, there is no luck. Anything that's multiplied with zero is zero, right? Now, think about that. Opportunity times preparedness. Let me ask you something. Are you in control of your opportunities? No. Are you in control of your preparedness? Yes. Now, it's like this. When the opportunity comes and you're not prepared, you're not lucky. When you are prepared and there's no opportunity, you're lucky. Right? You're not lucky. All right? But opportunity comes and you are prepared, you're lucky. Yeah, why am I lucky? I'm prepared. When opportunities come, I'm ready. Why am I ready? Because of your theme. I'm a lifelong learner. Did you know that all of these awards that I have there, all of these are just minor. These are just some of my awards. These are not awards of things that I studied for, but I prepared for. Just to show you. This is the Distinguished Tomasian Alumni. Okay, I'm the Mahalta awardee of my province. You see, look at this. This is my diploma in Stanford University. Here I graduated #1 out of 49 entrepreneurs, 49 other classmates. These are my Catholic Mass Media Awards from the bishops. These are my awards from the University of the Philippines. See? These are my awards in Go Negosyo. Yeah, this is my awards, my award last year, Asia Pacific Luminaire. Now, am I lucky? Yes. Why? Because I am prepared. And when opportunities come, I'm prepared. You want to be lucky? Focus not on opportunities, focus on preparedness. Let me ask you, how are you spending your nights? Watching Provinciano? Kapitbahay ko dito, si Coco Martin. Yeah. The thing is, I love the guy, but I don't love the Filipino hooked up to it anymore. Wala na nga sila magawang istorya. Yeah, you're Facebooking, you're spending too much time in the Facebook. Come on. Right? You post everything, you post a lot of things, and when you wake up, no one likes it, you feel bad. Because now it has become, the currency of social media is attention. And you feel you are less when no one gives you the attention. You see? Now you want to be lucky, just be prepared. How do you be prepared? How do you become prepared? You learn. Keep on learning. If you want to see the other side of my room, even down below, you would see my books. In fact, you don't catch me without books. And Virgo and Vanessa know that. I have my own library of books. It's dark. And in fact, this laptop is over books that I'm reading now. You see? And I'm already Carl Balita. I'm still reading. This is the book that I'm reading now. Game Changers. You see? It's on my table. That's why it's here. Okay? So you want to be lucky? Learn. Don't feng shui, come on. Crystal, come on. You prepare, you read, you learn. In 10 minutes, you find a good TED Talk and you would have learned a lot. Instead of you watching what? TikToks? No, don't go TikToks. You listen to TED Talks, not TikToks. Yeah. Go ahead. I love your questions. Don't mind the time. Just ask me questions whenever it's available. Go ahead.
Yes. I do love that we learn to be prepared and for that right opportunity. So that makes us lucky.
Because opportunities don't come sometimes. You even have to create it. All right.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So another question here, what are your advices to our future nurses who wanted to enter the field of entrepreneurship? And what are the small steps that you have considered to be the building blocks or foundations of where and who you are now?
Decide first. If I will ask you, what do you do first? Decide or think? I'll ask you, Zaira. If I ask you, decide or think, what do you do first? What about you, Kayceline? What do you do first? Think or decide?
I think, sir.
Think. What about you, Zaira? Think. Think also. I will say decide. You know what? Because if you think, then you decide. By the time you decide, you have to think again. Entrepreneurs don't do it that way. Entrepreneurs decide, then they think. Because the thinking process is different when you are decisive. That's what you have to do. That's my advice to you. Don't wait for everything to be complete. Don't take too much time. There's called analysis, paralysis by analysis. There's so many people who want to be in business, but they died not even starting a karinderya. Yeah. But you just have to start with something. Decide, then do something. Take little steps. I have 3 mantra there. Think big, start small, keep simple. You have to think big, you have to start small, but you have to keep simple. That's the way to go in business.
Thank you, Doc Balita. And for the next question, how can you encourage new generations today to be an entrepreneur?
I don't have to discourage you because to encourage you because your generation is a very entrepreneurial generation. You know, I don't have to encourage you anymore. In fact, it is my generation that you should encourage. Why are you entrepreneurial? Because you're very purpose driven. Because you have YOLO. You only live once. You know, because you believe in YOLO. Because you're very digitally intelligent. You're digital natives. You were born with technology. I was born with a typewriter. You were born with a laptop. You know what I mean? Because business is easy for you. I don't have to encourage you because in the future you wouldn't want to work for others. Why? Because you want to pursue your passion, you want to pursue your mission. And you're a very purpose-driven generation. Read more about Gen Z, and that's your generation. You're Gen Zers. And Gen Zers are actually a very entrepreneurial, and many of you will be entrepreneurs. But you will change the name, the rules of the game. You're changing it. You know, Dr. Virgo is a millennial. You are Gen Zers. You will not even marry. You don't want to marry. You'd rather have a pet than a boyfriend because you don't want to waste your energy on boyfriends who will just, you know, take away your beauty and your smell and, you know, everything fresh in you. You know, you want to keep a pet because the pet loves you forever. Yeah, and things like that. That's what they say. But the Gen Zers are very purpose driven. You love the purpose. In fact, when you interview a Gen Z, Virgo, I just realized this morning in one of the webinars that the young people's question when they apply for a job and they're being interviewed is, what is the CSR of your company? See, because you want to do good. And sometimes doing good comes from the control of what you can do out of your choices. Many of you will be entrepreneurs, believe me. It's a call of your generation. Yeah, yes, Kaiselin, go ahead.
Yes, Doc. For the next question, Doc, how do you manage feelings of doubt?
I resolve. I try. If I'm in doubt, I try. If my doubt is true, then I learn. If my doubt is false, then I discover. It's courage. You know, courage is not absence of fear. It's the mastery of fear. You see, doubt is what I eat for breakfast. Why will I be afraid? Yeah.
Thank you, Doc Balita.
Mm.
I like that. Your breakfast is your doubt.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I eat risk for breakfast, doubts for breakfast. But if you entertain doubt, it will make you afraid. Yeah.
so for the next question, what is your most important lesson learned from becoming a successful entrepreneur?
I learned to find the purpose and do everything for a purpose. It's really how to deepen that purpose because God has gives us the gift. It's just that we sometimes don't recognize those gifts, and that's why you become less aware. So our responsibility is to discover that purpose. And when you discover that purpose, you align it with your gifts. Like for example, I know that God gave me a gift of tongue. Okay, and I'm using that. I'm aligning that for my purpose. My purpose is to empower. My purpose is to inspire. My purpose is to teach. But you know, that same power I can use to destroy, to hurt. But I choose not to. Because why will I use God's gift to something that's not good? So you just have to find. If you want to find your purpose, find your gift. connect the two, and you will realize that your purpose is the reason why you're given the gift is because that leads you to your purpose. And how many people died without even finding their purpose? Right? Dami ko ng heart from you, ha? Kay Celine. Oh. Yeah, go ahead. I love to answer your questions. Come on. I'm just like resting now because this had been a very long day, but I'm enjoying the conversation with the two of you and the rest of. I would have read the chat, but I don't want to preempt myself. I want to answer it directly from you. Go ahead. Hi.
Ba't kinintay daw po kayo ni Miss Vanessa sa gagawin niyo? No, kidding aside.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Alright.
We can do that
po kasi
later.
siya.
Madali lang yan. 5 minutes lang namin gagawin ni Vanessa yan.
Sige,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah. You're muted.
Proceeding with another question, sir.
Go ahead.
Do you agree that being humble throughout your career is one of the achievement or reward for becoming a great nursing entrepreneur?
Well, arrogance is finding who is right. Humility is finding what is right. You see, these are the two different things. If you're in search always for what is right, then that's humility. But if you're always finding who is right, then that is arrogance, especially if you're the one who is always right. Yeah, humility is a virtue. As a leader, as a boss, my personality would tell you that I'm probably not humble. I'm probably very strong, but humility is life, is how you live your life. You want to see what I'm wearing down under you want to know what I'm wearing? Just to show you, that's my simplicity. Look at what I'm wearing. See, you want to see my merienda? It's what you eat. It's noodles. You see? You want to see my table? Has peanuts or something. The thing is, humility is not a label, but humility is how you live your life. You see, the simplicity. I could live in a mansion if I wish to, but why will I? You know what I mean? I'd rather put my money to something that would create more jobs and be an investment. So I bought a resort instead of a mansion. I can buy a BMW, but why will I buy a BMW? It will put me at risk for carnapping. I'm just driving, my simple Land Cruiser. That's it. But I invest on what I believe is worth investing. God is good. My eldest daughter is a scholar for College of Law. My only son is second year, is graduating from University of the Philippines. He's also a scholar. You see, the thing is, God has been so good. Why will I have arrogance in living my life? I did not prepare the road for my children. I'm preparing my children for the road. You know what I mean? So, ganon.
That's indeed very true
Mm-hmm.
with the being humble and investing.
I don't want to say I'm humble because you would see me wearing Rolex. My shirt is Lacoste. My slippers is Crocs. I wear diamonds. How can I call myself humble if I have this? So I would just say I'm purpose driven. I wear this because it's my favorite letter. It's letter C. Diamond is my birthstone. I was born April. You see? Things like that. And I'm a brand. I don't want people to see. I don't want to tell people you can be rich by going into business when I'm not rich myself. You know what I mean? But what's my favorite food? Ask Vanessa. Ask Virgo. Virgo, what's my favorite food?
Yung na lang po daw. Yung pag kumakain po tayo sa ng chicken, yung sa dulo nung paa niya, something ganun.
That's the only thing I eat in chicken. Yung dulo ng Chicken Joy.
Yeah.
What's my favorite ulam in Baguio. What do I always eat?
Bulalo.
Hindi masyado ikaw. Yan, pares. Pares lang yung paborito ko. Nung hindi pa ako vegetarian. Pero ngayon vegetarian ako, pakbet lang paborito ko ngayon. 'Di ba? Kanina ang ulam ko dinengding. It's how it's you may see me as an extravagant. I can afford extravagance, but I chose simplicity. Virgo knows that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So that's life. Read more books. Reflect. And stop the poison of social media. Okay? Read through more intellectual. Don't hindi puro TikTok or something. Okay? Sige, go ahead.
For the next question, Doc, how will you inspire people who are losing their drive in studying?
Inspire comes from the first two letters of inspire is in. That's the difference of inspire and motivate. I cannot inspire because it should come from within. I can motivate because motivation is external. And the question is losing what? Losing interest in?
Studying, Doc.
In studying. Make him stop. Make him stop and realize that stopping in his studies is more boring than actually studying. That resting is more tiresome than actually studying. If that's my son or my daughter, I will make him stop so that he would suffer the meaning of what he's probably pursuing. Now, if you're tired of studying because you don't like your course, drop the course and move somewhere else. I'll tell you, I did not like nursing, but I found it and I followed my parents. Pero ako, I will advise you two things. Love your parents. Give your highest respect to your parents. Honor your parents. That's biblical. But don't obey your parents on two areas of your life. You want to know what that is? What these are? Number one, career. Your life cannot be chapter 2 of their lives. Some of you are just doing this because it's a failed dreams of your parents. Hello, you're not born to fulfill their dreams. You have your own dreams to pursue. Okay, so you cannot be a chapter 2 of your life, and don't believe them that you're still going there and you're coming back. When my parents said that to me one time, you're still on the way there and we're already coming back. My answer was plain and simple. Yes, but we will not meet in the middle because you're taking a different road and I'm taking a different road. We're not taking the same road. Okay, number 2, don't obey your parents when it comes to your love life. You know why? Because they will always be biased. Believe me. And bias would remove your objectivity. You pursue your heart. You know what? Because only only your heart knows what it deserves. And what you are worth. Okay? So pursue your love. I'd rather that you become wrong to be happy than right and sad. Just listen to them. Maybe you will be influenced by them. But the decision is yours, not them. Not theirs. Even my quitting Pamantasan Lungsod ng Maynila was my decision. My parents did not like it. My father was against it. But I said no. I already finished nursing for you. I don't want to finish my life for that.
Indeed,
Okay.
sir.
Parang
That
tuwan-tuwa
is-
ka ha. Saira, parang tuwan-tuwa ka kasi yung love mo ha. Ganun yun. Okay?
Indeed, sir, you're right. We have to have the right to choose our own careers and of course our love lives.
No, if they want
So-
somebody else for you, tell them to marry that someone, not you.
Truly.
I say that to my children. No? I cannot dictate on what their heart will say. I know.
Okay. So moving on, Doc, any best advice or line for our batch pod that will motivate us to engage to entrepreneurship while pursuing our nursing career?
Entrepreneurship is not only a career. It's a mindset. It's thinking. Virgo may not be an entrepreneur, but if he thinks entrepreneurial because he's creative and, he's innovative, then he is an intrapreneur. He is most of the time an entrepreneur in my company. So I don't want to be here talking only to convince you to become entrepreneur. Because, the kind of entrepreneur you are is only based on the type of person you are. So evolve to be the best person you are. Because by doing so, you will evolve to be the best entrepreneur you may choose to be. That's my message. Because you cannot be a worse person and a great entrepreneur. It doesn't resonate. The kind of entrepreneur you are is only anchored on the kind of person you are. Because entrepreneurship will not make you good or bad. Entrepreneurship will only amplify who you really are. Yeah. Learn life. Learn life. That's my message. And live life. And love life.
That's right.
Yeah.
For the next question, entrepreneurs always take risk, and how can you say taking the risk will be successful or not?
No one can say. Even if you're still alive tomorrow, you cannot tell. How can you say that your risk is worth taking? So no, risk is risk. It's something to take. And don't if you don't want to take risk, don't take it. If you don't want to die of COVID, don't go out. That's as simple as that. If you don't want to be pregnant, don't have sex. Simple as that. Okay. If you don't want to graduate, don't study. If you don't want to pass the board, don't study. So all of these are cause and effect. Okay. So just as far as risk are concerned, we always live risk. We live different risk all the time. Yeah. Just going out now is risk. How sure are you? Don't be sure, because you can never be sure. That's the message. What's the point of being sure when you cannot be sure anyway?
Okay, so yes, we are moving on to the last set of our questions already.
Go ahead.
So yes, this question goes, do you kill two birds with one stone when you have these business ideas and are eager to build them?
Kill two birds with one stone. I don't know what he means by killing two birds with one stone. Can you continue with the question? Two birds with one stone.
With one stone. When you have these business ideas and are eager to build them.
You don't build from the top, you build from the ground. And you don't have to kill birds. I love birds, And you don't use stone. If you want to kill bird, don't use stone, use gun. You're more sure. But the thing is, it's figure of speech, but it's kind of detached. What I mean is this. By doing business, I kill two birds with one stone. I achieve my dream and I achieve the dreams of others as well. That's the beautiful part of it. If that could be put in the context of killing birds, yes, I want to kill a flock of birds. If the meaning is to target the dreams of everyone, you see. And speaking of birds, I love eagles. And next time we meet, I'll tell you why I'm called Daddy Eagle. Why I have an eagle tattoo. Ay, hindi pala, naka-long sleeves pala ako. Tattooed eagles. Why do I collect eagles? Because I have a story. I'll tell you more about that the next time we meet. Yeah.
We are hoping for that next time.
Yeah, sure. Sure. This is my challenge. When I talk to my reviewees, I tell them, why am I inviting them to join us? It's not because I can make them only pass the board or top the board like Miss Vanessa, but it's about, I think the young people like you should listen to more talks like this rather than just making you memorize who is the mother of modern nursing and who created the theory and what is the pathophysiology of hepatic failure and so on. Because the kind of nurse you will be only depends on the kind of person you become. That's what I want. I want to build people. I want to grow people. And I'm inviting some of you. Who knows? Vanessa was just a participant in my talk when she found me. And then, she worked how many years with me. And I'm sure Vanessa would tell you that, how what she has learned from having worked with us. Yeah. Yun. Nice. Thanks for your questions. It's really, very intelligent questions. Beautiful. Congratulations to the faculty. You're training your people not only to answer questions, but to ask questions. And that's beautiful.
Okay, thank you, Doc. And down to our second to the last question. How would I know if I am in the right track or I am doing the right thing?
Yeah, when you're achieved, you would ganito yun eh. If you are lost and you call someone, "Hey, I'm lost. Where is your house?" And that someone will tell you, "Where are you?" And then you will say, "Here under the mango tree, or here under the coconut tree with the signage, no urinating here." You see, in the very, very Filipino setting. But what's my point? How do you know that you're in the right direction? If you know where you're going. Because sometimes you want to know if you're in the right track, but if you don't know where you're going, you'll never get there. So start with a vision. What do you want to do? What do you want to be? Yeah, you want to be abroad. If you want to be rich, take one step at a time. And it doesn't have to be that the next day you wake up and you become rich, or next day you wake up, you're already beautiful. You have to start one step at a time. Okay, so what's the answer to the question? Create that vision. Vision is the ideal state of the future. Tonight, think about it. What do you want to be 5 years from now? You're fourth year now. You're about 20. What's your age? 20,
21.
22,
20.
21. Or what will you be when you're 26, 27? Will you be pregnant of third child? Yeah. Yeah, something like that. Or will you be in London pursuing your nursing career in London? Or you're in America, something like that. Or you're in the Philippines, or you're already the dean of UC College of Nursing. Think about that. Because you know what? If you don't know where you're going, you'll never get there. If you want to be a dean of the College of Nursing 10 years from now, so you better become a faculty. To become a faculty, you should have a 2-year experience. Okay? And you get that experience. Then you learn. Then you choose your subject. Then when you teach, you become good. Then you learn not only teaching, you learn how to lead people, and so on. Then how would you know if you're getting all to the milestones of it? And the milestones is when you get a job, when you get qualified to become faculty, when you become a good faculty, then you learn to lead people and to collaborate with people. Then maybe 8 years from now, you'll be the next dean of UC College of Nursing. As simple as that. Because dean would have retired, then maybe dean is already the vice president for academics or the president of UC. Yeah, something like that. Okay, because everybody has to move up. All right.
Yes po, Doc. And then now to our last question. Um, how did you create your opportunities and what was your motivation behind your success?
My motivation is to create a legacy. I want to leave a legacy. And my legacy are my children, my family, the organization I'm building. I am surprised by how things are changing. What's my motivation? It's just, fulfilling my purpose. And why did God give me 4 children, intelligent ones? Maybe He wants me to raise them up well so that they become intelligent men and women for their future. And I see that it's happening. And that's my motivation. I don't need to, dream of this and that. I'm a big dreamer. But really, it's about finding your purpose. It always goes back to that. What is your purpose? And always do things with kindness. Be kind. Yeah, that's the best secret I can teach you. If what you're doing does not help anyone or destroy someone, you better not do it. I'm not a saint talking here. I'm a sinner as well. But the thing is, always go deeper into the purpose and be who you are. be the best of who you are. Okay?
Okay, so thank you, Doc. May we just ask a few of our participants for their key takeaways during this evening. So may we call on Mr. Ahmed Jagman from 4B.
Hello, good afternoon or good evening. Uh, Really, I'm happy to be here today, listening to you. It was a pleasure listening to you, Doctor. Um, it was learning more than listening to you in a lot of points. You taught us, or you talked about learning and going out of the safe side in order to achieve your goals. In the entrepreneurship, you need to go outside of your safe zone. And also, sir, you give us the formula of luck, and that's what was very, very helpful for us. It's opportunity times preparation. Um, we as nurses, we having the problems in having the salary or not having the money, but knowing that we can start a business, knowing that we can gain money from other places, knowing that there's a lot of opportunities that we can take from others, that's really it's really helpful for us, and it will teach us and make us very happy in the future. Thank you very much, sir, and I hope that we will attend more webinar with you in the future.
Yeah, bring my contact to wherever you come from, and I would love to, yeah, to reach out to that area.
Yes, sir.
No problem.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right.
And may we have another king from Hajime Rafael. Can we have him here?
So, good evening po, Doc. And I would like to share the things that I've learned in this session. So thank you for inspiring us. Even in a little time, sir, my Doc. So what I've learned is to success we have formulas. Yung luck, opportunity times preparedness. As Doc said a while ago, that the important aspect of this is the preparedness, as it leads us to grab the opportunity that may arise. So in opportunity, we should make our own opportunity if it will not come to us. So tread our own path and make our own path. So and we should know that rule our own life, rule our own fear, to explore our explore our ability, and go out in our comfort zone so that we can find our true purpose and success in life. So we focus on our goal and not on the opinion of others, and success and motivation come with it, and we should be able to take risk and not afraid of failures. Thank you po.
Jimmy, can I ask you, if you will die tomorrow, what would you rather be today? Successful or happy?
Sir, I think happy, because
Happy.
yes,
You know,
sir.
you want to know the difference between the two?
Yes, sir.
Success is getting what you want. You know, success is getting what you want. You want Syra, you get her, you are successful. Okay?
Yes.
But happiness is wanting what you get. These are two words that I just twisted. You know, success, getting what you want. Happiness, wanting what you get. You know, because I did not talk about success here. I talked about happiness here. Take note of that. You know,
Yes, sir.
success is easy. Success is easy, but sometimes success people are the less happy. the loneliest. So I'd rather that you become happy. Right?
Thank you po.
Thank you.
Moving on to our last, may we have Ma'am Iriel Tupak?
Naheard ako. Thank you so much, Doc Carl Balita. So with your message a while ago, I learned that entrepreneurship is a mission and it is something you are passionate about to do. So as you mentioned a while ago, entrepreneurship is a less traveled road and not everyone is willing to take it. But it depends on what you are made of. It depends on what I am made of. I also learned that it is important to create to create a career not only for yourself or money, but also to help with the public's growing needs. And this is the reason why we are given these gifts by God, because you and I and every one of us here have a purpose. Yun lang po. And thank you.
Yarn. So moving on, let's give Dr. Carl E. Balita a big round of virtual applause. There. So moving on to our program, I believe that our guest speaker has addressed most of our participants' queries. May we ask our participants to, again, click the heart react button if everything has all been cleared.
Okay, thank you everyone for that hearts. And thank you everyone. Before we wrap up, Dr. Carl Balita, any final thoughts or advice that you can give to our future nursing entrepreneurs?
Be happy. Life is short. That's all. I mean, I don't think you're here only to be successful. You're here to be happy. So live life, love life. Yun lang. Just be happy.
There. So thank you so much again, Dr. Balita. Let's all be happy. We truly learned a lot, and we hope that we may become successful nurse entrepreneurs such as yourself in the future.
Okay, so let's proceed to the giving of certificates to be led by Sir Virgo Clemente Lopez. May we call on a representative from the documentation team to capture this prestigious and precious moment.
All right. So good evening, everyone. Magandang gabi po, Dr. Carl Balita. May we also invite our Dean, Dr. Judith Odani Magwilang, to be with me in the virtual awarding of the e-certificate. Can we flash now the certificate, and may I read the content? University of the Cordilleras College of Nursing awards this certificate of appreciation to Dr. Carl E. Balita as a resource speaker in the webinar entitled Nursing Entrepreneurship with the theme Nurses Convergence on Lifelong Learning Opportunities in the Pandemic and Beyond, a webinar on nursing entrepreneurship. Held on September 22, 2021 from 5 o'clock to 7 p.m. by Zoom platform. Sign yours truly, the NCM 119 faculty, our dear Dean of the College of Nursing, Judith Udani Magwilang, and of course, Mr. Philip Panagen, the representative of Section 4B. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a virtual clap to Dr. Carl E. Balita. We're forever grateful. All right. And
Thank you.
may we have the photos with Dr. Balita with the certificate and the Dean as well.
Let's smile po. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
There. So to bring this seminar or webinar to a close, Sir Virgo Clemente Lopez, our class advisor, will be giving his closing remarks.
All right. Okay, so this will be quick. So una po sa lahat, I met Dr. Carl Balita in 2012 in the same event where he talked to us about deciding where to review. Unfortunately, during that time, I was already enrolled in another review center. But I thought I regretted that moment. I wasn't able to say yes to Dr. Carl Balita because time and time again, I was telling him because he's my mentor right now. Just a short story and narrative. Miss Vanessa Joy Gasat knows about this. He personally called me and then invited me to review with him, but I kindly declined the offer. But then during that time, I asked myself, why among all the students, he offered me the scholarship? And I came to realize right now, with more than 4 years in his company, he really wanted to build people or to build on the dreams of the people because he's, again, a leader, a visionary leader at that. He's a mentor, a life mentor. And whether you like it or not, having spent with a month, Dr. Carl Balita, of flights all over the Philippines during the Master Journal, was this, um, was this, yeah, Maestro Journal launching in all the cities in the country, I really have proven that indeed it is the caring and the leadership that you have used to really continuously not just be successful on your own, but for others to be inspired by your life story. So just some statements, because I think lahat po ng statement ni Dr. Balita are already gold. They are really practical and they resound with practical applications. The best lessons we've learned tonight are the following. Begin and end in mind. What do you want to do? What do you like? What's the best thing that you love doing? And then nurture that business idea. Transform that idea into a vision, because you have to project, you have to be proactive, navigate with people, all right? The right people with you. And of course, remember the lesson. The best lesson we learned from him is there are no mistakes. And sabay-sabay, please unmute. There are no mistakes, just
Lessons.
lessons. Very good. So with that, Dr. Carl Balita, again, we're forever grateful and we wish to be with you and to continuously learn from your wisdom as a lifelong learner yourself. Maraming salamat po. And to our Dean, Judith Odani Maguilang, thank you, ma'am, for the support. To our fellow faculty here, Miss Vanessa Joy Garat, can we bring them in? And as well, Miss Espino, Ma'am Espino is also with us. And our program chairs who might not be around but who have been supportive as well for these learning engagements. Maraming salamat po. And to our students from all year levels, I've seen third year students, the fourth year students, the graduating students. Thank you so much. And beyond the learning, learning is sharing. So please take some time to share the good news, or let's say the wisdom from this sharing from Dr. Carl Balita to the significant others that you have. So may we invite everyone now to please have the photo ops. Once again, maraming salamat po, Dr. Carl Balita.
Yeah, Miss Espino is Espino. My middle name is Espino. We might be cousin even. Who is Miss Espino there?
Baka po yung husband ko, sir.
Husband. Oh, from Pangasinan?
Yes.
Hindi.
Po.
Yeah. San Fabian.
Villasis po.
Yeah, that area, yes.
Okay, thank you, Sir Virgo. And may we request everyone to open their cameras. So may we ask the documentation team to kind of give us a cue, please.
Ang ganda ng view ni Dean. Dean, nasan ka? Authentic ba yan?
Virtual. Not authentic, Dr. Carl. It's virtual. Thank you, Sir
Yes.
Carl. Thank you as
Salamat.
always.
Pero ang ganda-ganda ng view.
Oo nga, very
Very Baguio.
Baguio ang dating.
Okay po, let's take our picture po. 1, 2, 3. For the next slide po. Okay na po for...
Yeah. Follow me on Facebook and my YouTube channel. I have...
Okay na po. For the first batch.
Yes. So may we remind everyone to please open their cameras still, because we do not know which part of the Zoom screen are you on. Thank you very much. And documentation team, please give us the cue.
Okay, for the second slide, it's all smile and open arc. Next one. Oops. Okay na po.
Okay, so thank you everyone. We appreciate your participation in our very first webinar. We hope to see you again on Friday for the second part to be facilitated by the BSN 4 Section D. So before leaving, may we request our participants and or everyone to answer the evaluation form sent via the chat box. Your response, especially your personal details, will be our basis for your certificate of participation.
And again, kindly answer the evaluation form, and a gentle reminder for everyone to take a screenshot as a proof of your attendance for this webinar. This will be attached to the latter part of the post-webinar evaluation survey. So the link is available in the chat box, and your certificate will be sent on your Gmail account once you're done filling up the form. Once again, thank you so much. Stay safe and good night, future nurses.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dean.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you po.
Thank you po.
Bye.
Bye po.
Thank you po, Doc.
Congratulations, Section 4B. Well done.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Virgo, nasaan na yung speaker ko?
Ayaw.
Mute ka sa akin, ha?
Sige po. Para din po ba sa klase niyo po for next time?
Yeah, that is my THFS class.
Okay. Let them coordinate with me, Dean.
Okay, sige, I will tell them. Bye. Thank you.
All right po, bye po. Let's end.
Bye. Say thank you to Dr. Carl, ha?
Yes
Very
po.
nice. Okay, bye, everyone.
Bye po.